All aboard, all aboard. Let's ride the train. Blow your whistle. Blow your whistle. Blow and blow your whistle. I was born in the Carolinas, where the top of the globe. I was raised off Martha Cecil, James Brown, baby, I got soul. I might be a little country west, I might be a little rock and roll. But you dance off the drummer's beat and do exactly what you told. Blow your whistle. Yo, what up, what up, what up? Y'all see it right there, man. Listen, the biggest of 4th of July event going down every year. All right, if you're in the Bloomingville, Kingstree, South Carolina area, that's where you want to be at on 4th of July. Okay, you are invited. Definitely parade, field picnic. There's going to be some live performances out there. If you are interested in being a vendor, I think they got a few more spots left. You want to be in the parade. The information is on this flyer right here. Please reach out to the Bloomingville. Should be a nice one there. Ooh. And it's going down. Comedy is back in Bamberg, South Carolina, starting August 9th. You want to be in the building. Okay. Free entry. It's going to be live. It's going to be nice. Nice. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope everybody feeling okay and enjoying themselves. And listen, if you are new here, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that follow button. Very important that you hit that follow button. Okay, we are being shadow banned for whatever reason. And some of what I'm going to talk about this evening is probably got something to do with it. You know what I mean? So, but we're going to do it anyway because there's been a lot going on in the news cycle here, and I've been missing a ton of it, man. I mean, you got the whole Diddy trial going down, which for me, it's not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be where they were going to be calling some big name people to the, you know what I mean, to the trial or whatever. But it's been, you know, to this point, he's a bad person. I don't know if it rises to the level of a, what are they charging him with? A RICO. But again, I'm not a lawyer. And I don't even try to play one over here. But again, yeah, a lot's been happening. I mean, a lot. We're at war with Iran right now. It's a lot been happening, but tonight I want to talk some about this decision that Trump made to go into Iran and drop that bomb. I know this happened a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna start by saying that, listen, I'm not no expert on the Middle East. This thing has been going on way before I came to this planet, and it'll probably continuing to go on. You know what I mean, while I'm here and beyond. But I
I know that it affects people that I know, and this subject has been dividing people to the point where um, I know inside of the quote unquote MAGA movement, there's a division, big division. But then, I get a lot of people saying, "Hey, see, I told you guys," as if Joe Biden being a dead man in the White House was some type of I was supposed to I was supposed to feel good about that for some kind of reason. Now, and I say that with the fact being that right now you've got journalists writing books talking about the situation and the fact that they knew this man was out of it for 4 years. But we don't want to talk about none of that, or the fact that the candidate who replaced him spent $1 billion with a B, $1 billion trying to run for office. And to get here and to say that they would have made different decisions in this situation that we find ourselves in, I would say that's a bit naive. You know what I mean? But again, that's me, and that's my interpretation of what's going on with the politics. Now, I am definitely not on board with what happened. Okay. And is Iran a bad place? Could be. Don't know. Um, according to the media, the Western media, yeah, they are. But according to their media, they're not. So, you know what I mean? You figure it out. I guess that's what they left it up to us to do. But with this situation with Trump going into Iran, he's another puppet of Israel. Okay. He's another puppet of Israel. And don't be confused like I was thinking that well, Iran and Israel have been fighting for a long time, and they have been on a proxy, like through proxy war. They haven't been there hadn't been any direct thing. So, and I'm gonna just cover what's been going on in 2024, 2025 that got us to here, to where we are now. And um this is more so for people who support Trump, who support Israel. I would like at some point, you know what I mean, if you comment on this or respond to this, I would like to have a debate about it. Not even a debate. I would like to have a discussion, because again, I'm not an expert on this at all. Not even close to being, not even near even but I'm fascinated with this subject, and I've always been fascinated with this subject because I couldn't understand, why. I mean, I even went to the point to start to studying, like, what is a Jew, and what is this thing that America has, this thing that bless the Jews and you be blessed, bless the Abraham seed, or however it goes in the Bible, which that shouldn't say that, however it goes, but I've been looking into all of that, trying to find answers to this thing. And I can't say that I'm any closer than I was when I started, but here's what I've come up with in regards to what's going on with the Israel. Let me give you a little backstory here. Okay, let's get us up to date, right? So, in April 2024, Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles directly at Israel in response to an Israeli airstrike on the Iranian consulate, in which killed several And of course, like I said, the signal would be off right now. So let's back that up. And what I was saying is in April of 2024, Iran launched hundreds of drones, missiles directly at Israel in response to an Israeli airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, which killed several high-ranking Iranian officials. Israel responded with targeted airstrikes inside Iran on military radar installations, carefully avoiding civilians. Of course, that's what they say. Signaling precision, not escalation. Of course, this is written from a certain point of view, as you can pretty much pick up. The conflict didn't escalate into a full-scale war, but it marked the first direct Iran-Israel conflict, shifting the confrontation from shadow wars or proxy wars into open strikes. Okay. So, which leads us up to where when that happened, you know what I mean, it has just become, and it's not even okay to do it, but it's become fashionable now to question, Israel. And in the past, that was just, you couldn't do that. You just couldn't do that. There was, you know what I mean? You could not do that. In the media, because the Israelis are powerful, and this AIPAC, man, that's worth taking into. Okay. So, but that led to, and I mean, you can find videos of Bibi Netanyahu and different other Israeli leaders talking about the nuclear threat that Iran posed, 30 years ago. And it's the same playbook that was used for the reasons why we went up into Iraq. When we had Colin Powell sitting in front of the UN with a fake bottle of same playbook. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got it. No proof, but they got it. And of course, you get, we're here at war, and so this whole escalation and then this de-escalation, I really don't buy it. But again, I'm just going off of, bits and pieces that I can find in the media. And, and people were saying, well, I thought you was Trump was Trump. That doesn't say that I'm not still, like, so because I support you, that mean I can't question you or disagree with you. I don't agree with no presidents intervening in the Middle East or any foreign things. But again, I don't claim to be an expert on these things. And so when it comes to Israel and what they did, again, attacking the Iranian consulate, they do things as if they can't be questioned. And that's changing. Why wasn't the Israeli strike on the Israel, why wasn't that considered to be a terrorist attack when they attacked a country on sovereign soil? If Russia or the U.S. bombed abroad, it would be called an act of war. But this is the type of things that the Israelis have done, been able to do, and nobody questions it. As a matter of fact, we endorse it. And this is a part of the policy that I don't agree with. Israel bombed a diplomatic facility in Syria and faced no real international scrutiny behind that. And why is it that they don't get scrutinized? Because they control these airwaves. And under Trump, Trump endorses. As a matter of fact, Trump made a comment today. See, what a lot of you don't know is while Trump was going through his things, Bibi Netanyahu is on trial in Israel too, because everybody in Israel don't agree with what's going on. But you don't get to see that. You don't get to hear that. You know, Trump commented on that today, saying that they did such a great job in this war. And I mean, really, we were saying that we were going to bomb this mountainside for how long? And I mean, who realistically just going to still be there? Let's just be serious. Who's going to be there? So I think it was all smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? That's how we got to, okay, let's drop the bombs, make it look like we're being tough. Boom. They drop the bombs. And then it's like, all right, we're going to, attack a base or something or whatever. Probably nobody there. I don't know. Could be. You know what I mean? I ain't heard nothing about no body counts. And immediately, right? They've already started laying the table for the next attack. Laying the groundwork for the next attack, because they're like, well, we're not sure if we got it all. You know what I mean? That's under Trump. Israel's had impunity to do what they want to do. And, the little talk tough. And then he supposedly dropped the F-bomb on this day and, and this and that. And man, listen, nobody falling for that. Nobody's falling for that. Nah, that's not being received well at all. And people talk about, yeah, this and that. You supported a weekend at Bernie's president for 4 years. Shut up. Be quiet. Here's another fact that Trump supporters don't want to hear. A reality. When Trump decided to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, breaking international consensus, that was an escalation. See, what some of you Trump haters should be doing is taking notes. I'm teaching you now. I'm teaching you how to do some research and be Make some sense when you criticize him. Not just, oh, he's bad, the orange man bad. Break it down to me. Break it down to you. And Trump was the one that killed the Iran nuclear deal, which was keeping the Iranian enrichment program in check. You know how we know that it was working? Because Tulsi Gabbard said so. And Trump went in with his bombastic style, and Netanyahu jumped right on top of it, ran with it, and boom. All the voice of the moderates were silenced. And this is what will never happen. This is what would never happen. If you haven't seen the interview with Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, you might want to take a good look at that, because that is, if it was scripted, shit, it is one of the best scripted interviews I've ever seen in my life. But Ted Cruz, a senator, was asked a question that you would think would be, basic question. Hey, you're a senator, you're proposing sending my boys to war. What's the population of that country that you sending my boy to fight in? I don't know. You got to just go check that interview. It's a 2-hour interview, and I know some of the sound bites that came out of it were awesome, but the sound bites don't give you the full depth of that conversation, and I think it's an important one. And for those of you who are kind of confused, like, well, I thought they were already fighting them. No, that's the Palestinians. It's a different set of Arabs. I mean, when everybody was with the Palestinian flags and all that stuff like that, that's them boys at Gaza Strip, where they done flatten Gaza Strip, and the whole goal, right, is so that the Palestinians will never be able to have that 2-state option. Because that, I remember back in the days before I was hyper focused on politics, I used to hear about the 2-state option. I think Bill Clinton was one of the ones that was pushing that. And the 2-state thing is that to a Palestinian and an Israeli state side by side, but that pushing that in politics could get you whacked, right? I didn't even know, again, through research, and thank God for the freedom of information, and people that use that, you can find some of the things that our government is involved in. Like I didn't know that there was an Israeli connection to the JFK assassination. And then Trump just like the rest of them. He just like the rest of them. He's the Umar Johnson of presidents. He came in talking about how, like Umar came in talking about the preachers and the preachers taking your money, and what did he do? Turn around and do the same damn thing. Dr. Umar Trump. Double standards. Ukraine deserves sovereignty, but Palestine doesn't. And it's essentially this. It's not even. It's essentially the same fight. You know what I mean? Somebody believes they have rights to this piece of land, and somebody else doesn't. And some of you guys watching, you're Christians. Get in the comment section. Let me know. Do you believe that America has a duty that was passed down by God to protect Israel? I've seen Israeli flags flying in Andrews. What's the mathematics on that? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Because the U.S. supports the Ukrainian territory, their right to sovereignty in the territory. So what's the difference between the Palestinians? Is it the color of their skin? They don't have the complexion for the protection type deal thing going on all the way across the water over there? I'm just asking questions. You see the picture up in over this gentleman's left shoulder? It's the Ayatollah Khomeini. And as a kid, they used to flash that across the screen, and the symbol of a 45. But we just ask them some questions here tonight. You know what I mean? And pointing out some of the hypocrisy. Happening, realizing that those same people that supported Trump, there's the same people that turn on Trump also, because you know, it was an easy choice based on what the Democratic Party supports and what they, pushing and all that. Nah, it's an easy choice. Easy choice. Yeah, we would take the criminal over the foolishness. Okay, over the destruction of men in the United States, yeah, we'll take the orange head fool over the Bernie weekend at Bernie's, or this lady that literally slept her way to the top. As if y'all got a leg to stand on in this thing here, man. And this is the question of the day. Now, what they were doing, because the Israelis are talking openly about regime change, and Trump is saying, nah, he's not in favor of regime change, and he don't think that there should be regime change. But again, he was acting in him and Han like he wasn't going to drop them bombs. What I mean, y'all pay attention to this part right here. What these people right here want, they get. Okay, they run America. Makes me believe he's in the Epstein files too. You know what I mean? Iran's regime is brutal, of course, allegedly. They fund Hezbollah and crush dissidents. So when they talk about funding Hezbollah and Hamas, and my question is, what are they supposed to do? You can't bomb me, and then when well, I mean, it's not you can't, but pay attention. Like if you attack somebody and they respond and try to defend themselves, and you can't call that person a terrorist, you got to call that person normal. But again, when you control the airwaves and the media, you can do that kind of thing. You can say anything you want to say. For reals, for reals. You know what I mean? All right, listen to this right here. Two truths can exist. Iran can be dangerous, and Israel can be violating international law. And standing up for saying, hey, holding both of them accountable, that don't make you anti-Semitic or whatever the hell that means. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of that. But then I'm finding out that these people are real crafty. Real crafty. But that's another conversation. So that's where I stand at on it, man. I just think that it was bullshit the whole time. And I think Trump is, there he is right there with AIPAC. AIPAC is a interesting, again, organization that shouldn't exist. According to the laws that we got on our books, they should not exist. But they do. And again, it is an interesting conversation, and I would like to have it with a couple people who we can get on here and discuss things without screaming, yelling, or getting out of whack about this and that. As I know some people will be like, well, how do you because again, I don't agree. You know what I mean? Me being supporting you don't mean that I support everything you do. Come on, man. Y'all should know better than that. But that's how it goes, man. AIPAC should not, according to our laws, you know what I mean? Because that's a foreign lobbyist, and Israel is a foreign country. But again, that's way above my head, way above my pay grade. But I definitely would love to get some people who are in that pay grade. Let's break this thing down, man, because it's interesting. And with that being said, I want to remind y'all, 4th of July, Southern Soul Parade, Field Picnic. You're invited. You're cordially invited. Okay? So, all right, y'all. About to get back on this wheel. And we're going to be covering some topics. Hey, but check this out right here real fast. In Jackson, Michigan, a powerful gang leader is finally behind bars. Tamaris Pookie Faulkner, once the head of a violent street crew known as the Thoroughbred Family, has been sentenced to nearly 18 years in federal prison. Faulkner, a 28-year-old from Houston, Texas, was found in Jackson, Michigan. A powerful gang leader is finally behind bars. Tamaris Pookie Faulkner, once the head of a violent street crew known as the Thoroughbred Family, has been sentenced to nearly 18 years in federal prison. Faulkner, a 28-year-old from Houston, Texas, was found guilty of leading a drug trafficking operation that pushed a deadly and unusual form of fentanyl into Michigan streets. Unlike the typical white powder, this fentanyl came in crystal form, dyed green, yellow, and even purple. The colors made it stand out and even more dangerous. Authorities say this colored fentanyl led to a surge in overdose and drug-related violence throughout Jackson County. A heartbroken mother spoke out in court, saying, under his leadership, this gang has taken lives, destroyed families, and devastated an entire community. 6 other gang members have already been sentenced. Faulkner's sentencing marks another step in dismantling the Thoroughbred Family, but the damage they caused may never be undone. This is a chilling reminder the opioid crisis continues to evolve, and so must the fight against it. Remember, like, subscribe. Please get in the comment section and let me know where you're listening to this from and how the opioid crisis has or has not affected your community. Thank you. Yeah. So that's where, in my opinion, the focus of this administration should be. Here in America, we got a crisis on our hand. That story is playing out in damn near every state, if not every state in the union. And we sitting here bombing Iran, making Lindsey Graham excited. So I don't know, but we'll get back to it. Over in Bamberg County, man, listen, there is an interesting debate going on about the taxes being raised. And with that being said, I saw in Richland County that Richland County's taxes, if you live in Richland County and you're hearing this, please hit the like button or just get in the comment section, say I live in Richland County. Your taxes are going up. The exact amount, I don't want to give you the wrong amount, but I know it's because of a $15 million shortfall in your budget that they, you're going to have increases on your property taxes, business taxes, commercial property, personal property, I think, and some other places. But your taxes are going up. But over in Bamberg County, they are not having it. The people are up in arms. They just had a vote, and only 2 of the councilmen voted, so it was voted down in its first reading. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that plays out. Also, over in Georgetown County, I think they're going into the second reading of banning fishing from the surf. So if you're looking to come to the Georgetown County area where, people love to fish from the beach, they're literally talking about banning that. And so we'll get more into that as we move on. So here we go. We out of here.